Alright, over here at the bottom of the map, we have our Zerg player, who usually struggles against Terrans, but he is a Code S player nonetheless, still very strong. It is Slayer's YugiOh. And when I say Code S, I mean obviously he's not Code S right now, but he's been in a couple seasons of Code S, so he's definitely proven his capability of getting that far in the tournament. Up here though is our relative newcomer, has not been in the GSL before, really has some proving to do in this match, and so far has not proved himself very much at all. It is none other than Enes Hoso's Sculp. Oops. Alright, there we go. Yeah, and you know, I was talking before about how he's not too good against Zergs historically, but I do want to hand it to him that he's played relatively well against Terrans in the past. So, you know, he's not too horrible. He's beaten some. He's played in some ESV weeklies and done fairly well, especially against, well, actually, I come to think of it, he's done well. I'm looking at all of his stats now. He's done well historically against Zerg. Just lately, he hasn't been doing terribly well, so... Or perhaps, you know what, I'm going to have to eat my words, because it looks like he actually has won his last several games against Zerg players, so I take it all back. I take it back. Sculp is pretty decent against Zergs, but I still maintain my points earlier about YugiOh just not doing too well against Terran players. I guess maybe I was thinking of our next matchup. I'll have to double check that. Anyway, Sculp though, just definitely showing not Code A level play. He's really going to have to pick it up and show us some more skills here if he's going to come out ahead in this game. Drone coming in here and scouting. It's going to go ahead and check out the gas being mined, and doesn't want to stick around for very long though. Doesn't want to get trapped in here, I guess. Wants to save every single drone. Drones are so important on that early economy that we usually see Zerg players will just get that drone out if at all possible to save it, rather than trying to keep it in the base and scout as long as possible. And we see him continuing to mine gas. He's almost got 100 gas in the bank, and we might see a factory here pretty soon. Was he going to proxy a factory? No. No, where is it? There it is, okay. Going to build it next to his front door there. And it looks like we're going to have a reactor to shortly follow, and it's just going to be a proxy, I'm sorry, a reactored Hellion expansion is probably what we're going to see, since he is building up a lot of minerals right now as well. And yeah, so SCV going in and scouting as well, seeing what's going on in the Zerg's base. Not going to survive for too long though if it stays on creep. Not off creep, that those Zerglings are not quite able to catch that SCV very quickly, and he might be able to even get back home. Anyway, so yeah, Sculp going for a Reactor Hellion expand here. Is not going to get that early Overlord kill. Did not decide to try for that this time. Maybe not as familiar with this map. This is a relatively newer map, although I guess Cloud Kingdom is just as new, which was the first map of this series. Oh, the SCV is still alive. He's trying to head back over to the Zerg base to get another scout in what's going on, but didn't happen. And wow, okay. YugiOh going for 2 spine crawlers, which is uncharacteristic, I should say. Usually we see Zerg players try and get away with as much as possible, get away with as little defense as possible, I guess I should say. And so we only see the 1 spine crawler, which is used to, you know, fend off the Hellions. And this time he's actually made 2 spine crawlers, and I find that a little bit interesting. Oh, he's going to try and do a run by. The Queen's blocked the ramp. The drones try and block him from escaping. He's going to have to run those drones away. Some hits taken on those drones, but no actual kills, and the Hellions are kind of stuck now. Yep, and the Queen's just going to go ahead and get some free hits on him. But he needs to be careful he doesn't let them up into the main. Oh, almost brought his drones down a little bit too early. Zerglings are going to come out, and he does get a single drone kill out of all this. Stopped a lot of mining time as well, I guess, so that's reasonable. But oh no, the Hellions go right by those Zerglings into the main. He should have put those Zerglings on that ramp. Instead, the Hellions are in the main, getting some drone kills. They are going to go down as well. Sorry, not drone kills, Zergling kills. And yeah, he's just kind of throwing away these Hellions. This is, again, you know, very uncharacteristic. Usually we see what Terran players will do is once they see that the Zerg has their expansion blocked off and gets another drone. Okay, he's gotten 4 drone kills total. Not too effective. Anyway, yeah, we have more Hellions coming in here as well, and I guess it's a good thing he got those 2 spine crawlers because he is going bullish on the Hellions here. Is he gonna get up the ramp again? He is gonna get up the ramp with a single Hellion, and it's just gonna be able to come around here and nope, the drones have pretty much healed up. So, oh, is he gonna get one more? Yep, got one more drone, but this is not paying for itself at all. Yeah, I mean, he's throwing away lots of Hellions, and he's also throwing away map control, because right now, if he makes a good squad of Zerglings, YugiOh could just move out on the map, and you can see he hasn't stopped this third from going up, which is usually, you know, part of the point of getting those Hellions out is to stop the creep from spreading, which has not happened, stop the third from going up, which has not happened, maintain map control, which has not happened, and take the watchtowers. He's got one of them, but not the other, and the Zerg could very easily take those towers if he wanted to. So I don't know if it was worth it to throw away all those Hellions, especially not one by one. He sent in 2 at a time instead of waiting for 8 and then going in with all of them at once or something like that, which we do see sometimes. We've got double Evo chambers going on, although he's only using one for upgrades at the moment. Macro hatch as well. So YugiOh is going to play this just like last game and go ahead and just basically power up. Same as with the game where the Roach Rush failed. We saw YugiOh say, all right, well, failed to kill him, I mean, but did establish basically some dominance. I don't know why I said failed. The Roach Rush happened. He's like, all right, well, I did some damage. I've got control now. I'm just going to do everything. Right? That's exactly what he's doing. He's getting some upgrades. He's getting his third base droned up. He is just all over it. He's getting a huge economy. And once he has the macro hatch up and his 3 main hatcheries all lining, then it's just going to be disgusting. He's going to have all kinds of ability to put out units, and then he's just going to really start putting the pressure on Sculp, who has a grand total of 19 Marines and 1 Marauder and a Medevac. He doesn't have any Marauders, I'm sorry, any Hellions right now because he's just throwing them all away. And he's going to go for a little bit of drop. I like this move. It's very smart, as is using these Zerglings to take out these rocks over here so you can, again, try and run in here. Once the third base goes up later on in the game, he can come in and harass it. And the Zergling's not in position to spot this drop. It looks like he's going to come around for the main, and this could be pretty effective depending on how he pulls it off. A little bit of a Marine Force going in here. I'm not sure what that was about. I don't know why he did that, actually. He didn't have a ton of units to work with. I guess he was hoping that he would catch him droning up and you know, catch him without any units, but all he had to do was scout that. I mean, he had the watchtower, and he was able to see that coming and build some Zerglings. And again, without Hellions, he didn't have anything to deal with those Zerglings. And again, this drop gets spotted very quickly. The Marines are microing back pretty well, but they're not going to get too much damage done. Going to be forced to retreat. 4 Queens trailing that Medevac. Now trying to hunt it down. Spire is about to complete. And yeah, these Zerglings are just keeping the Marines from doing any damage, and once that Spire completes, Mutalisks will be on the way, and he'll be able to shut down that drop pretty easily. And, oh, never mind, Queens can take care of it. That works too. There's the third base up now for Sculp, but oh man, I mean, look at this. This is actually even a waste of Banelings. Yeah, he didn't need, well, he only used some of them. He didn't use all of them, but he should burrow some of those. Oh, does he have burrow? He doesn't have burrow, I don't think. That would have been cute though. And he's actually going to lose those Banes. Well, at least kill the SCV. There you go. If you're going to lose the Banes anyway. Anyway, he didn't transfer too many SCVs down there, so he didn't need to spend all those Banelings on it. A little bit of a miss micro there by YugiOh, who's going in for another drop over here at the left side of the map. And might get a couple more drones this time, but again, the Zergling's right on top of it. YugiOh playing really well this game, just on top of everything. Another drop going down here on the right-hand side of the map, and some Banelings are there, though, but no Zerglings, and he actually deals with the Banelings very well, splits his Marines, is going to be able to maybe get some damage done. He targets down the Extractor. Zerglings come in, they're just going to get slaughtered by these Marines who have the 1-1 upgrades, And they're actually doing a lot of damage here. He ran the banelings away. He should have kept them nearby. I don't know where the banelings went, but he is might even get the infestation pit after this queen. He's going for the drones. Infestation pit is going down now, and Zerglings are going to stop that from happening. Did he even make? He didn't make any. He made 2 Mutalisks, so he didn't really have anything to run in with the Zerglings to deal a lot of damage. And every single drone at the main, save a couple, has been killed off. Now he's going for the infestation pit. More Zerglings coming to die. The queen finally polishes off one of the medevacs. The other one is being lazy over here, not healing up the Marines. And finally the drop gets cleaned up. A little surprised he didn't target down that infestation pit. That would have been, or the Spire. Either of those would have been really good targets to kill off. But again, killing off so many drones was really good as well. Getting him all the way down to 60 drones. And he's just drone back up to 70 something though. But here's the push to counter as well though. Sculp showing a lot better play this game. Moving in, he's playing a really good back and forth here. Taking out lots of Zerglings. He's been splitting his Marines. He needs to split carefully though. He needs to target down the Banes. A couple Banelings do get through and land. And the tanks just could not take all of them out. He does survive with a small force though. That medevac that was being lazy earlier now comes into play and floats on over to help out these few Marines. Only a single tank left though. He might just go ahead and abandon this push for now and maybe try and take another base or something like that. And no, he's going to go ahead and ferry these up into the main. This might be a little bit of a mistake. He doesn't actually have the units to do very much here. The siege is up. The Banelings are already there though. And the Marines, he actually forces the waste of a lot of Banelings that actually ended up being okay because he was lifting up the Marines. It's actually pretty cute. Lifting up the Marines and then dropping single Marines on the Banelings so that 1 or 2 Banes would die with only 1 Marine death. So it was a cost-effective trade there. Anyway, another drop coming in here across the top of the map. He's going to actually drop his forces out beforehand. And, oh, this is cute. Oh, he's actually going to run in and do kind of a distraction tactic here. Okay, I thought he was going to move it somewhere else, but he's actually just going to kill this base. No cancel on that new base. Too distracted. While this drop goes back here, he's just going to lift up and again dropping down single Marines. Look at that, beautiful. Dropping down single Marines to kill off Banelings, and the Banelings just forced to retreat actually. Drops them out again to kill more drones. Sculp is actually playing this really well. He's actually redeeming himself in my eyes a little bit this game. Playing beautifully, being all over the map, and then pushing in with a huge force in the front as well. Needs to target down those Banes though. The siege tanks not firing at the Banes initially, and some do get through, clean up the Marines, and the Zerglings is able to clean up the tanks now. Medevacs do survive and are going to join up with some Marines here. He has killed a total of 56 drones now this game, and that is definitely a significant amount there. YugiOh just seems to be falling apart here. He didn't make any Mutalisks, he didn't make any Infestors, he's not even upgrading the Infestors so they can use them. He's just been forced by this, basically the timing of his attack to just use, oh, when he actually goes in with the Zerglings before the Banelings are finished, he should have held back a little bit longer. But the Banelings do finish while there's some Zerglings alive, chasing down those Marines. Good splitting by Sculp, and he's able to push back in here. Sculp may take game number 2 here. Not if these Banelings have anything to say about it. No! Huge Baneling hits there. Sculp does not have time to split. He actually didn't see them. Well, actually, he should have seen them with the medevacs, but they came right down around that corner and forced everything back. Sculp is now moving to take his 4th and 5th bases, though, which is a really good follow-up to that. To go ahead and do that. And again, you know, took out all the drones up here. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the drone count. 65 drones to 67 SCVs right now. Sculp is in a beautiful position and is moving across for another attack. He needs to make sure he doesn't get caught on siege, though. Look at all that beautiful, beautiful creep spread. All for nothing. One scan and it's all gone. It looks like he's going to come in for a little bit of flank here with some Zerglings and Banelings from the side. He actually may burrow those. I'm not sure if he has burrow at this point. He does have burrow. He could burrow those and try and cut off reinforcements. But here comes the Zerglings in from the side, picking off the tanks before they can kill the Banes. The Banes go off on some of the Marines as well. So beautifully played by YugiOh. And this pace is not even in existence, so nothing there for anything to have happen. But he's going to go ahead and pick off those Marines and force the drop back. He's going to try and build another hatchery on spot number 1. Or is it a stylistic 7? We'll never know. Actually, we can look around at the map. When there's not bases on every single spot on the map, actually. Look at this. The only bases that aren't taken are the ones coming across the middle of the map. And we might see an engagement here in the middle of the map. Sculp coming in again. A new round of creep tumors has been put up. He's probably going to scan and see himself. No! Again! Alright, come on, Sculp. You were just starting to look good again. You gotta stop, you gotta get some multitasking going on here. And he is going to be able to kill off some of these overlords. And I like these Marines kind of trying to bait everything into the tank fire. He's only got 4 tanks there, though. And that means the Zerglings can get up close and personal. The Marines come in just in time to reinforce to save 2 of those tanks. And now he's going to scan again and continue killing off creep tumors. This drop has stopped this base from happening again at the top of the map. Sculp is all over the place, pushing into the natural expansion. He's got an 60 supply lead right now. Sculp may be able to tie up this series and bring it to a 1-1 right now. The Greater Spire is almost finished, but it is going to be too little and too late. Marines streaming into the national expansion. I think we're going to see a GG here from YugiOh. There we go, GG. Sculp has done it, and just with a straight-up macro game has managed to beat YugiOh, the former Code S player. So very nicely done by Sculp. And, you know, he just showed a lot of mistakes in game number 1, but some solid macro. And this time, a little bit less mistakes, a little bit better multitasking, and his macro was able to carry him to the win. So nicely done.